Welcome back. You're watching The Money Show and time to get your portfolio queries answered. And for that today, I have with me Pankaj Mathpal, MD of the Money Managers. Pankaj, good evening and welcome to the show. And for all the viewers who have just joined us, you can ask your queries on our WhatsApp number, which is 8657974571. You can also email us your questions on themoneyshow@etnow.tv. So let's begin. I have Mr. Shashidhar Hegre with me on the phone line. Hi, good evening. How are you doing, sir?
Good evening, ma'am. Very fine.
Thank you so much for sending us your question. And you want to know whether you can hold a balanced portfolio and you have lump sum investments, Bandhan Multi-Cap, Kotak Flexi Cap, you have Kotak Multi-Cap, you have Motilal Oswal Flexi Cap, you have Motilal Oswal Small Cap, Nippon India Multi-Cap, SBI Multi-Cap in your portfolio. And you want to figure out if these funds are good for you or not, right? Is there anything else you want to add to your question?
I am basically, earlier I was very hesitant in the year 2018-19. I was into only FDs and one of my good friends suggested me about mutual funds. So I just entered the market in the year 2018 and I just wanted to know whether I am having a diversified funds and whether it is good for my, I'm now 48 years old and whether I am on track or not. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Sure. I just want to know the corpus that you want to accumulate from this portfolio and for how long you want to stay invested in it.
Next 10 to 15 years, whether these funds are lucrative or not.
All right, sure. And what's the amount you're looking at in terms of coverage, corpus?
Almost 75 to 1 crore.
Sure, we'll help you with that. Okay, a lot of clarity coming up over there. So let's connect with Pankaj now. Pankaj, 15 years maybe more and 1 CR from this portfolio that Mr. Hegre is aiming.
Kavita, good evening. Mr. Hegre, see, first I'll start with your question. You said whether the portfolio is well diversified or not, or it's a balanced portfolio. See, we call a balanced portfolio to the one which has multiple asset classes like equity, debt, gold, etc. But this is a pure equity portfolio. But yes, if I say within the equity, it is well diversified because you have investment across large cap, mid cap, small cap through your multi-cap funds or flexi cap funds. But the important point is the funds are good, but you have too many funds. And frankly speaking, you do not need these many funds and that too in the same category, like you have 4 multi-cap funds in your portfolio. So what is my suggestion to you? If you want to stay invested for long-term, 10, 15 years, I'll suggest few funds out of this portfolio. So like Kotak Multi-Cap Fund, Motilal Oswal Flexi Cap Fund, and Nippon India Multi-Cap Fund. These 3 funds only should keep, so you can consolidate your portfolio. Other schemes, like you have 4 multi-cap, so you keep only 1 out of this. So total amount, because it's a less than 4 lakh rupees you have in your portfolio right now. So 3 schemes will be more than enough. Second thing, because as you said, if your horizon is 10 years, for example, you can expect 3 times of this. So if you have 4 lakh rupees around, you can expect 11, 12 lakh rupees in 10 years. But if you want something, you said 50 lakh or something more than this, or whatever the larger amount you want to accumulate, so it means you'll have to invest regularly. You should keep adding to this. Then you can expect a larger amount. But if it's a lump sum amount only and you want to stay invested with this, then in 10 years, you can expect something like 2.5 to 3 times.
Sure. Mr. Hegre, is there anything else you want to ask Pankaj?
No, sir. No, ma'am. No. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay. All the best. All the best. Let's take Harsh Jain's question. Harsh is there on the phone line with me as well. Harsh, hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening, ma'am. Good evening, Pankaj, sir.
All right, Harsh, as per the details given by you, you want to add a lump sum of 5 lakh rupees for a period of 12 years and you want to know whether it should be going into mutual funds or fixed deposits. And you are getting a 10% return post-tax on fixed deposits, which is on your mother's name, and she's a senior citizen, and you want to know if you can put that money as well in FDs or mutual funds. So currently, you are holding some funds, which is Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, HDFC Index Sensex, Nippon India Small Cap, Tata Small Cap, Kotak Emerging Equity. Time period is 15 years, and you want to have a corpus of 2 CR. Now so the first part of your lump sum investment is clear because that's for 12 years, so that can go in equity. But the second part, you know, the post-tax money that you're getting from your mother's fixed deposit, that will be for how many years? Accordingly, we can take a call whether it should be going in fixed deposits or mutual funds.
More than
Harsh.
12 years.
That is also more than 12 years. Okay.
Yeah,
So
basically,
combined all of that, sure.
no, no. So
Sure.
basically, I have a lump sum amount of 5 lakh rupees which I want to invest. So my query
That's
is
different.
whether I have to
Sure.
invest in my existing SIP mutual fund,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
I should do a fixed deposit, or I should do a lump sum amount in some mutual fund.
Got it. So, Harsh, I'm taking your questions in three parts, okay? Because there are three parts into it. I just want to understand. In all of these parts, the goal is 2 CR from all investments or just your funds that you mentioned. 2 CR is the goal of that portfolio. Is it a separate goal?
No, that's a separate goal. 2 CR is for my SIP,
Okay.
which I am doing right now for 33,000.
Perfectly. This is what I wanted to understand. I think now it's easier because you might have to increase your investment amount there. All right. So, Pankaj, over to you. Let's talk about the SIP part first, where he wants to accumulate 2 CR with those funds that he has in the portfolio, 5 funds.
Okay. See, if you assume 12% CAGR, so in 15 years, you can expect around 1.57 crore. So if your target is 2 crore, you should step up your SIP by 5% every year. Then you can expect 2 crore in the same time. Because your SIP amount is 33,000. So I calculated with the 12% CAGR, it's coming to 1.57 CR. And as far as funds are concerned, you have good schemes in your portfolio. So definitely you can stay with them. Large cap, flexi cap, small cap, everything you have. So that is good enough. Kavita, second thing here, I would like to add, though, Harsh, you have investment in fixed deposit, as you mentioned, in your mother's name, but 10% interest, any big private bank or PSU bank, I don't think anybody is offering 10% interest. It means you have your fixed deposit either in the small finance bank or a cooperative bank. So if you want to know even the good alternative to that, my suggestion for long term, you should invest in mutual funds because we have different categories. If somebody doesn't want to take a risk of pure equity funds, even the hybrid funds are available. So for long term, it is better to invest in mutual funds than a fixed deposit. And coming to the last question, that the amount you have, that 5 lakh rupees, what should you do? So you have good funds in your portfolio. If you want to stay invested for long term, again, you can add to that also. Like you have HDFC Sensex plan, you have Parag Parikh Flexi Cap Fund, not to small cap fund. I'll not suggest in lump sum right now, but in these funds you can add. Otherwise, if you want to take lesser risk, you want a hybrid funds, then SDFC Balance Advantage Fund and Tata Balance Advantage Fund can be considered.
All right, I think that's the solution for Harsh. And even though we do have a lot of questions to ask you, Pankaj, but then unfortunately the time on the show today is over. But thank you so much for being on the show and helping our viewers with their portfolio queries. And on that note, it's a wrap even on the Money Show today, but I'm going to leave you with our WhatsApp number and email ID where we keep waiting for your questions. And the only show where we get to do your life financial planning. So do send across your questions on our WhatsApp number and email ID. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.